What's going to be with Iran's nuclear capabilities? Check out this clip from former Colonel Richard Kemp and his assessment of the situation with Iran. We'll watch this clip together, then talk about it. But before we do, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Welcome back, America. We're here with a good friend of mine and my family, retired Colonel, British Forces in Afghanistan, Commander Richard Kemp, chairman of the Cobra Intelligence Group. But Richard Kemp, they can't call you a chicken hawk. You're a combat veteran. You have fought in Afghanistan and elsewhere. You have fought terrorists. You know this mindset. So, Richard Kemp, what is the mindset of the Iranian regime? And do you think that they would adhere, for the first time ever, to some kind of ironclad agreement?
No, I think the Iranian, a nuclear-armed Iran would represent the greatest threat to Western civilization and, of course, to the Middle East that's ever existed since the Second World War. And that's partly because of the potency of nuclear weapons, and it's partly because of the mentality of the Iranian fanatical jihadist regime. They're not like the Russians. They're not like China even. They're not a country that is amenable to reason or indeed to the concept of mutual assured destruction, which you mentioned earlier. If they have a nuclear weapon and we believe they intend to use it, we've got to assume that that's a very real danger. They've said many times, death to America. It's part of the entire basis of the Iranian regime, death to America, death to Israel. And we can't assume that if they have it, if they have the capability, they won't use it. Only a few days ago, Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, explained in detail why he needs to destroy Israel. So we've got to assume that if they have a nuclear weapon, they will use it. And there is only one way of preventing them from gaining that nuclear weapon, which they're already very advanced in their program, very advanced, both in terms of developing highly enriched uranium, working on the means of delivering it, ballistic missiles, and also through weaponizing the program. They're very close. If not, it's possible even they have the capability today. And there's only one way of stopping that, and that's by military action to destroy their nuclear program once and for all. Now, there is a possibility of negotiations, but we know one thing. We know that Iran are master negotiations. They're masters of deception. They're masters of lying. They're masters of dragging out and drawing out any negotiations while they're meanwhile working on the program. So although I can understand why President Trump is interested in negotiations, personally, I don't think that they're going to achieve what needs to be achieved here. And I think we're going to face a real problem with things like verification. We can't just accept a paper promise by them. We've got to see verifiable, actual dismantling of their regime, of their nuclear program. We've got to see the enriched uranium shipped out of that country or destroyed. And we've got to see their entire infrastructure for developing weaponization, developing nuclear weapons. That's got to be dismantled verifiably, not just on paper. And my view is that Iran is not going to agree to that. Iran is going to maybe spin it out, lie, deceive, and no doubt be assisted by the Europeans, who don't have the spine to support an attack on Iran. Europeans are very likely, in my view, to help them, maybe inadvertently, but help them to spin out this negotiation while they continue to develop their program. So, yeah, negotiate, but make sure it's for a very limited period of time. Make sure if it does come to some conclusion, it is absolutely practically verifiable. And then if not, if the period of time that they've been given, which I think President Trump gave them 60 days, if that's not achieved, then they have to be hit, and hit very hard, by the United States of America, probably supported by Israel, to destroy their nuclear program.
The biggest threat since World War II. That is a very big statement over here by Colonel Kemp. I heard a similar statement by Colonel Conricus from the IDF, who said that Iran, they are master negotiators. They are good at delaying and all sorts of tactics. And he is afraid that all of this talk and discussion is going to in the end lead to the duping of another American president. First was President Obama about 10 years ago, and now he fears that it's going to lead it in the same direction. There has to be, if there's going to be diplomacy, there needs to be a way that can be verified very clearly that all of these things are taking place, or else, as Colonel Kemp said, there must be a strike because a nuclear Iran is such a big threat. Love to hear your comments in the comments below. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.